What up, y'all? It's Chris Weathers, aka Shorty C94, back at you again with another episode of Shorty's Sneaker Conversations. This is episode 80. 80 episodes. It's crazy. Well, let's see if we can get our guest, a little Ferris Gipp. What's up, Carl? What's up, Javier TX Teacher Soul Chase 85? See if we can get our guest right quick. Okay. Yeah, Soul Chase is 80. 80 episodes. It's crazy. All right. There is our guest. Just sent her an invite. I'm going to send another. See if we can get this going. Hey, Carl, I'm still mad about, Sunday or whatever, but I'm trying to let it go. See if we can get our guest. I just sent the invite. Lock delay 787. What's up, Levon Jefferson 3? Man, it's good to be back. What's up, Izzy? Okay. She sent me an invite. What's up, Kaylin Tyree? What's up, Dion Positive Vibes? It's not letting me accept the thing. Let me send it to you again. There we go.
What's up? What's up?
Hey, what's going on? How you doing?
I'm good. How you doing?
Pretty good, pretty good. I see a lot of heat behind you. There was some Jordan 1 boxes?
Yeah, some Jordan 1 boxes, a little bit of something going on there.
Okay. Thank you for being here today.
Thank you for inviting me. I appreciate it.
Oh, no problem. So, before we get started, because I didn't get to send you the notes, so I do apologize for that. But it basically breaks down like a basketball game where the first quarter is sneaker origins, second quarter is more recent sneaker past, third quarter is sneaker present, fourth quarter is sneaker future.
Okay.
So before we jump into the first quarter, I always, even before the introduction, I always ask people what's the most positive thing you've been able to take from the world since the pandemic started.
Most positive thing I would have to say, honestly, is staying connected, truly. Having family all over the place, you can't travel and visit them like you used to. Everything you got to be cautious. If you go somewhere, you got to be cautious going around other people. So definitely just being able to stay connected, talking to everybody. I'm already type antisocial. So
Really?
yeah. So, like my family, we always together. It's always been a very tight knit, very, big family oriented individual. So it's like not being able to see them all the time like you used to is just different. So staying connected, sharing birthdays on live is fun.
For sure. Respect it. All right. Now, for the people who don't know who you are, you mind telling everybody who you are, where you're from?
Well, my name is Stephanie, from Florida. I go by Locked in Lace 787. Locked in Lace is because I love the lace locks that Nike uses. So I was like, perfect. I have changed my name a few times on here trying to figure out, what fit me. But that was the one that kind of stuck. But yeah, that's me. I like sharing my sneakers, just enjoying what everybody posts, sharing outfits and all that fun stuff.
Nah, you got a lot of good things on your page. I'm definitely a fan of your collection there.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
No problem. Now, as we jump into the first quarter, I have to ask, what's kind of like the moment that kicked everything off for you with sneakers? What's your earliest sneaker memory, would you say?
Earliest sneaker memory would have to be the 1996 Bread 11s. That's definitely the one for me. My brother walked in. He actually, I was born in New York, so he stayed in New York when we moved out here. and he came down to visit, you know, his New York swag, and I was like, yo, what are those you're wearing on your feet? Like they were shiny, they were, ooh, it was just everything. The patent leather, I was like, oh, I need those. Please, I'll do all the good grades, everything you need. Just let me know, and I need those.
Got you. Got you. No, that's a great moment. I do want to say, having had every pair of those except the pair from the Countdown pack, I don't feel like they've ever retroed it truly like how the OG was.
No, never.
You
It's
know,
always like an adjustment to the patent leather. It just, something was always off. It never was the original.
yeah, because like my because we recently relocated here about a year and a half ago to North Carolina. We're from Cleveland, Ohio, my wife and I. So I'm pretty sure my OG pair is still at one of my parents' house, but the mesh on it kind of had like a red tint if the light hit it a certain way, and the bottom was almost more so. It was such a bright red, it almost looked orange. Like they've never been able to replicate that.
No, definitely. And it's so strange. Like you would think that okay, they'd be able to do this, like it wouldn't be a big deal, but you know, they're always saying they're implicating new materials, different things to, you know, go green and all kind of stuff, but it's just it kind of never hits the same. Like it never, like you can never just hold that original and be like, oh, like it never looks the same. Always leave you wanting more.
It, with the Concorde, like to me, they've done a better job with the Concorde retros, but the last one is probably the best one. But even with that, like my OG Concorde, like if the light hits it, the white mesh, it has like a purple tint to it that only the OGs have. It's sort of like the 95 with the PSI on the bubble. It's like, you know, only the OG has that. So
Yeah.
I appreciate that being your first sneaker memory. When did you end up getting them then or another time?
Definitely did not. That sneaker has been okay. That is my unicorn. Okay.
Really, the black and red
Yeah.
11?
I every year, every time they come out, it never fails. I never get it. Like I never get it, and I've always been like, okay, you know, I'll pay the resale, I'll buy it. It's not a big deal. And then the one time that I did get it in the hand, I just was like, ah, I let it go. I was like, I just couldn't do it. Like it was the one shoe, but I know, like, I think it's that year style. I want that one. Like that's the one I want.
So you want a pair from 96.
Yeah.
What size are you?
I'm a 6.5, 7. So
6.5, 7. Well, I'm looking for vintage things all the time. So um, I haven't come up on a grade school pair of those before. I always find, you know, men's pairs, but I'll definitely keep an eye out for you on those.
thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Like I have the pair from 2019, but I generally wear my pair from 2001. Just because I've done everything in those shoes, and I can't believe they're even still intact. I've hooped in them, I've worn them in the rain, the snow, everything, and they still kind of like keep takes a licking and keeps on ticking, kind of like they still look brand new. So, yeah, those are made like a tank. But okay, all right. So, what was that next shoe that was just like, all right, I'm in this now? You know what I'm saying? This is the life.
So definitely the one that put me in the game was the 99 last shots.
Okay.
That was definitely the one. I was like, ooh, oh, retro 14, just in case nobody knew.
Now we do.
That was
Hey,
the one for me.
let me say, you know, as somebody who's unnecessarily nostalgic, thank you for having the years on it, because I'm one of them people. I remember everything by year or grade. So, you know, I appreciate it. All right. Okay, so the black and red 14 is kind of like where you was like, all right, I'm in this now.
Yeah, because
Okay.
they're just so the black and red. I don't know why that colorway is just so popping for me, but like seeing those, I was like, okay, you know what? This is where I want to be. This is it.
All right. Now I have to ask you. I know we're not supposed to, as men, we're not supposed to ask ladies their age, but with you adding these years and stuff, you know, you can't really tell how you ladies look, how old y'all are. So how old are you?
I'm 33.
Okay. Okay. 99. Okay. I got you. I got
89, 89.
Well, no, I'm saying you talking about the 99, talking about the last shots.
Oh yeah,
So that's about how long you could say you really, you know,
I've been
been
in
in.
there. Been in there.
Okay. Okay. Cool. Cool. All right. So now we've got, the first sneaker memory and the sneaker that kind of tipped you over the top. So you spoke about, your brother coming from New York and, coming with the 11s, but who were some other early influences on your like personal style in the early days when you first started, really being into sneakers? Was it a relative or was it someone on TV or,
Honestly, it was always my brother. Like my brother, that man, I mean, he's always been in my life, obviously. So he's just an awesome individual. Older brother, came up, raised me like I was his child. So I'm his baby, basically. And, I mean, from rocking old vintage polo jackets, like he was my guy. I was like, what he's wearing? Okay, I'm gonna get something like that.
you? Now, with you being from New York and then being in Florida, how much of that New York do you feel like you took with you down there? Because you said polo jackets. I mean, I'm picturing that time period.
Honestly, none. I left New York when I was 6, so I came out here fresh like a baby. But I think I honestly don't sound like I'm from here, so it's pretty funny. But I think maybe having him around me, he lived in New York for a very long time, so he definitely influenced a lot of the way I look at things, clothing, how I put things together. So definitely, I mean, I think just having him around was the biggest influence for my style of dress.
Okay. Okay. All right. Now, I guess my last question for this quarter is, you got a pretty good memory. You put in years with the sneakers, 96 and 99. I really appreciate that. Was there a shoe from back then that you wanted that you were never able to put your hands on besides that black and red 11?
Not from back then. I would say probably. So you remember the old? I think it's 2001. I think they came out with the retro 16s, like that
Yeah,
that
16.
black varsity red. Those are ones that I'm like, God, I needed those. Like I played basketball since I was 7 years old, so I wanted to hoop in all of it. And that was one sneaker that I was like, yo, that the lace cover, like I wanted it bad. Every colorway, I wanted the midnight navy, and I just could not. No, didn't matter if I was like a 6.5. At that time, I was probably like a size 6, but I just could not get my hands on it. And my brother had every colorway, and I remember legit. He had started moving down here little by little, and he had the midnight navies in the retro 16s. And I actually was in middle school, and I used to wear like baggy clothes to play basketball. So baggy clothes was a thing then, tom girl thing, that. And I wore his sneakers to school. It was imagine a size 6 wearing a size men at that time a size 9.
Wow.
It was, I felt like the best thing in the world, but he don't know this. So if he's watching, yeah, I wore those.
Wow. No, the 16, even though I don't want to offend you, to me, it's one of the worst Air Jordans, only because when you take the shroud off, it looks like a Jumpman to me.
Yeah.
I actually recently, because they're actually over there in the hall, I just came up on a pair of white and navy 16s. Because I have the OGs, but the shrouds have all broken just because they're all so old. I got every color except the black and silver lows, but having a pair I can wear with the shroud, the retro pair from 2016, is exciting because even though I'll say a Jordan is bad, I still buy them all. To me, the 15 is the worst one. So it's not that, it's because to me, you couldn't hoop in that one. It wasn't good for indoor or outdoor ball. It wasn't really good. It's great for today's fashion, but 1999 and 2000, I don't know how I wore them things.
Well, the 15s weren't bad if you were wearing if you were one of them OG ballers that had all them ankle straps and braces.
Mm-hmm.
You were good with the 15s. But I still love the 15 silhouette. It's still beautiful to me.
I just remember sliding all over the place in them things. And they weren't even, usually if it's a clear bottom shoe and you in the indoor court, even with the 16, I slid a little bit, but not like the 15. I was sliding all over the place, man. I had to.
In the 17s, like the 17s, I played ball hard in those. And
Yeah.
for some reason, like if you stepped outside, played outdoor ball, and then went indoor to play it indoor, you were sliding all over the court. It never failed. I don't care how many times you wiped the bottom of your shoes with your hands, you were sliding, period.
Yeah, and that's where the 15 and the 16 made me realize that the shoes that the NBA players wear are not the shoes that we buy in the store. It's no way that they can be. It's no way Rasheed Wallace is playing in a regular Air Force One that we buying for, at the time, $70. Like, it's just no way. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, this was my thinking back then, because I was still playing basketball pretty regular in 2001. I was 20 and 21, so I was still young back then. You know what I'm saying? So it's over now. So I can watch some other people play. But before we go to quarter two, I saw in your bio that, you're into basketball. So who was your favorite player back then?
Jason Kidd. That was my guy.
Jason Kidd. Okay. I saw you post that jersey, the next jersey.
Oh yeah. That was the first jersey I ever had. And that's because I was hardcore on Jason Kidd. I even wanted his Nikes that came out. I wanted those. I couldn't get them because they didn't have them in my size, but I was dying. I'm hoping I get my hands on the ones that dropping, I think this year. They're dropping. Yeah. And I'm like, man, him, Steve Nash, Mike Bibby, all of them. That was my era right there. That was my squad up there.
Okay.
Like now I watch it, but I watch it more for the highlights. Before I used to like hardcore watch games. I still play now though, so.
You still hoop now?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Okay. And you're a point guard since you named all point guards there.
I'm a point guard and shooting guard, yeah, and small power forward because I throw that body back.
All right, so this is another question. Then this is just since you said Jason Kidd. When do you feel like he was at his best? Before we go into quarter two.
Definitely when he was in the playoffs with the Spurs. I definitely feel that was like, to me, the best time for me. Like seeing him, how he viewed the court and how he manipulated the ball movement, I was just like, ooh, that man's so serious.
So when he was on the Nets is when you feel like he was at his absolute best.
Oh yeah. I mean, he definitely had earlier times, but when I was following him super hard was when he was on the Nets. And to me, that was just, that's when I noticed him the most.
See, for me, you got to give me blonde hair Jason Kidd from 2000 when he was the Suns with Penny. You know what I'm saying? Now, I'm a Lakers fan and have been one since the 80s. So I was, rooting against y'all because I wanted Kobe and Shaq to win that championship, that first one.
Yeah.
But that was a hell of a series. You know what I'm saying? Y'all really, Derek Fisher and Kobe definitely had to work against Jason Kidd and Penny. That was a good series. But he's always had good floor vision. I mean, to me, my favorite player of all time is Magic. But he's oversized point guard. Jason Kidd and him have very similar court vision, and they're very similar to me, even though, Magic is like 5 inches taller. So
definitely.
Okay. We'll see this.
Hold down for little people,
Yeah. Now I will say, you said Steve Nash, you said, of course, Jason Kidd, and who else did you say?
Well, Mike Bibby, Dirk Nowitzki, all of them. Those are my people.
Now, again, you heard that I'm a Lakers fan. You ain't got no love for Mike Bibby. Everybody says we cheated in 2002, but you know what I'm saying? He was a problem. Like Jason Williams was already a problem, but he would start getting into his bag too much, and he would take the Kings out of the game. But when he came, we had some real problems. Like, Mike Bibby had us scared. Like, I was like, the Lakers might not pull this out, man. So, but once we got to y'all, it wasn't about Jason Kidd, but he ain't really had much help to me when he was there that first year. Richard Jefferson helped a lot in the second year against the Spurs.
Definitely.
But, all right, let's jump into quarter two, because I could talk about basketball all day. I just got finished watching the shit, getting ready for tonight. So, even though my team is not in it and it's a complete disarray, but we'll talk about that later. As we jump to quarter two, more recent sneaker past. I always start that off by asking people, what was their first job, and with said job, what was that first pair that you remember buying yourself?
So my first job was, I had two actually. I had worked at Taco Bell.
Okay.
I also worked for a like a chiropractor's office, and it was like filing reports and things like that.
So you had money early. Okay.
No, no, I was still young. So I had two part-time jobs basically, but Taco Bell slaved you low key, so I don't know.
Yeah, like I've only worked in like 2 restaurants, and I was like a server, so I never had like an actual food job. So I just be hearing some of the stuff people say, and I'm like, that sounds like a lot.
It was too much. I was like, no, I'm done with this.
Yeah. So what was that first pair that you ended up buying? Like, all right, I got my own money. I'm about to kill them. You know what I mean? Or do you remember?
So my first check, I actually bought 2 pair of sneakers with my first check.
Okay.
No, because I still have one of them actually right now.
Nice.
It was the Nike Air Trainer, the Hirachis, when they were like the high tops, when they had the little strap on the front, that big strap.
Yeah, yeah. Woo.
So I had bought that one, and it was actually I bought the Michigan colorway, like it was navy with like that yellow.
I remember that.
I bought, and then I bought it was a pair of Nike Dunks, the women release. They were like a all white. They had a mismatching swoosh, and they were like a pistachio green or something like that was the mixing. But those were the ones I bought. And those, the Dunks, man, I walked into Journeys and I was like, ooh, mine. Those are mine.
Yeah. See, at that time in the 2000s, man, Journeys was weird because it would be like they would sell Dunks and then they would stop. And then they would sell them again.
Yeah.
And stop. So
I was like, I'm going to need some consistency here. Okay, I'm walking in, ready to spend. And you guys have them, and then all of a sudden it's like gone. No, we don't have them no more Nike. I'm like, okay.
And see, what I never understood about that was, Nike owns Converse, and Converse is always in Journeys, all the time. So I know that they have a relationship, but I'm like, why the Dunks? But I really think that since, because I don't know if you remember, of course they had Nike SB, but they also had Nike 6.0. And yeah, it was like, a more affordable, attainable Nike SB. And I don't think that ever really hit like they thought. So that must be why they would go back and forth, because that shit used to annoy me, because they would have some shit. This is only at Journeys. It's like, well, I have to get it.
That exclusive only it changes the whole game for everybody.
Yeah, because I work for Converse now, and they do that with the colorways there, where if you want a pair of yellow Chucks or a pair of green Chucks, if you go into the side of the store, you can only get them at Journeys.
Yeah.
Where if you go to a Converse store, they'll just have core, black, white, red, just regular shit. So it's interesting how Nike does things.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Yeah.
They know how to manipulate it. They know how to do they know how to manipulate the mind. I'm like, oh, killing me.
So those are some good buys. So which one of those shoes do you still have? Is it the Dunks or is it the Hirachis?
I still have the Dunks.
All right, so shoot, you real exclusive now. That's like a cheat code with the way people treat Dunks now. Is it a top or high?
I low key, like in 06, 07, I fell in love with Dunks. And I even had like the SBs, but I quickly realized there was a major difference between the SBs and the Dunks, the thick tongue and all that, the toe box. It was a lot of differences. And I was like, okay, I think I like the regular Dunks better. But I still would buy, like, the SB Dunks have so much detail behind it. Like, a lot of people don't realize it when they look at them. Like, there's a lot of hidden elements to, like, the shoe. And the shoe almost tells an entire story. But I still love my regular Dunks.
Yeah, because I can tell, I haven't owned a skateboard since the late 80s. You know what I'm saying? You said you was born in 89. That's
Yeah.
probably the last time I had a skateboard. So I don't skateboard. I just like dunks. I've always liked dunks because, you know, I've always liked Jordan 1s. It's almost the same shoe. So, it's where I've had to explain to people. I'm like, man, it's not about it being an SB. If it was just in Champs, I would get it, or Foot Locker,
Yeah.
because I like dunks. So I appreciate that, because I was buying dunks heavy in that time period. You said probably for me, probably from '02, really probably to 2011. That's where most of my dunks will come from. So, I definitely appreciate you bringing up that era. It's
They
good.
have some sleeper colorways. Like it's crazy.
Yeah. Now, with you being, you still got New York blood in you. So when you were young, really up to about a couple years ago, I mean, are Air Force Ones anywhere in your collection?
Oh yeah, of course. It's a class.
Okay.
Of course.
Your face changed. Like, damn, are you crazy?
Of course. Like that's like a must have. I mean, I don't care if it's, you know, I don't really do the all white. I mean, the all white just seems so played out a little bit. So I kind of like to have a little bit of spice to them. Like I loved when they did the all white with the pink midsole. Like I thought that was nice. But I definitely do have fresh pair of all whites, fresh pair of black lows.
Black lows, huh?
They're in there somewhere.
They've kind of given the black lows a stigma. I don't really enjoy it, but they're like, oh man, she dangerous if you. So
Nah, those are beaters. Those are beaters all day. You gotta just throw them on and go to the store real quick. Those are the ones.
All right. Now, when you first got that, job and you had bought those two pairs of sneakers, what were some of the clothing brands you were rocking at the time, so I can kind of get a scope of when we were talking?
Oh, I was definitely wanting to be like my brother. So I was Polo, Ralph Lauren. Like, no, don't tell me nothing else. So it was definitely that. If not, my sister-in-law, she was really heavy on Gap. So I definitely had to have, the plain Gap tee with the Gap logo in the front. So definitely, I would say those were the ones with Polo and Gap for sure.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I know when I started working, the urban clothes hadn't really hit yet, so it was still what I call the Tommy Nautica polo renaissance from like 94 probably till about 98. It was all about Tommy Nautica and polo. And it was like different tiers. It was like Nautica was cheap, Tommy was kind of in the middle, and if you had got a good check from work, you might actually go get some polo.
There you go. You're walking into that polo store real quick.
Yeah, because I had an instance back when I was working, because I used to work at this department store called Kaufman's. It eventually got bought out by Macy's, but I was kind of messing with the chaps because it was a little more attainable for my teenage high school budget as opposed to, the polo, but it still said Ralph Lauren on it. So I told the story on here before, but this really attractive young lady who used to work in the customer service part where Ticketmaster was, she was like, you can't wear chaps. And I'm like, why? It's Ralph Lauren, just like polo. She was like, it's not. You know what chaps stands for? It means you could have had a polo shirt. And she just blew my whole brain. Like, I was like, I just, I'm like, wow. So I didn't wear any more chaps after that. Because even in my 17, 18-year-old mind, I'm like, well, if a girl that's as fine as this is telling me that, then I don't need to wear this. So it happened.
So, change the whole game. That's it.
It's like, you gonna go, you might as well go for the gusto. Don't go halfway, So I'm like, fair enough. But okay. Good times. Well, that was the end of the second quarter. I mean, I jumped to halftime and asked, do you have any questions for me?
No. I mean, this is like my first ever live, so this is like real surreal. I appreciate this.
Oh, okay. Cool. All right. Well, we'll just jump right into the third quarter, which is sneaker president. We're in a an interesting time in sneakers.
Oh, sure.
You know, and yeah, it's a real interesting time. So starting off as a lady that is into shoes, you know, you've been in the game for a while. You've given me real dates where I know, you know, how far back this goes back with you. You know, sneakers are a part of you. You're into sports. It ties together sort of like it does for me. So, as a lady, do you feel like there are any extra challenges that you face as a lady into sneakers as opposed to what a guy would be?
Honestly, I think it's like the respect factor. There's a just like with playing sports, it's always that, oh, but it's a girl, you know, I don't wanna D up too hard, you know, it's a female, I don't wanna hurt her. And it's kind of the same thing with sneakers. Like they take advantage of the fact that you're a female. You're not gonna know what you're talking about. Like who's gonna know the history of this shoe? Like not you. You're supposed to know high heels and purses. You know that's your thing. And it's kind of like that stigma of just because you're a female, you're supposed to know this and sneakers in your bag. Like you ain't supposed to know that.
Okay. Okay. And see, that's the thing. Like being a guy and being older, I try not to be a gatekeeper with the sneakers because everybody has a different connection with sneakers. Everybody likes and wears sneakers for different reasons. So I'm curious to hear everybody's, you know, story. But it's a lot of people um, who I know who just no. It's if you wasn't there, then you can't be. And I really make an effort to try to not be like that. The only issue I run into sometimes with it is, you know, sometimes the feelings I have with resellers. So with that, sometimes I can kind of sound gatekeepery because I feel like the sneaker game has been gentrified. Not trying to defend anybody, but a lot of these kids, they was playing with Yu-Gi-Oh cards and Pokemon cards. Not that there's nothing wrong with it, but you know, I feel like at times they attack people 30 and up who are trying to kind of experience nostalgia because nostalgia, yeah, it's what feels me. You know what I mean? Like, so I feel like
it,
they try.
it's so hard. Like we know how it used to be. We know you used to just walk into the store and there it was. You know, it's right there. Or how simple it was to cop them back then. You know, even if it was a resale, it was a reasonable resale. You know, maybe 30, 40, $50 over the head. It was okay. Yeah, I can handle that. But now they want to charge you almost 2 to 100. I'm like, yo, no, like no. I will wait. I'm sure Nike's gonna restock 1,000 times. I will wait.
Yeah, I feel like that's going to be something that's really a part of what's going to happen. They're just going to randomly restock certain
Yeah.
sneakers, curtail the resellers. That and you know they're definitely going to be more direct to consumer. There are more and more Nike stores being built every day, so I don't think that they'll ever fully be out of Foot Locker and Finish Line like people think. There just won't be as much of it.
Yeah, definitely.
But um, yeah, Nike is going to definitely be more direct, and it's going to be interesting to see how that fares. The only thing that I feel like Nike has kind of changed, and that's just been the pandemic. I feel like is lately shoes haven't really been making it to closeout stores. You know, your TJ Maxx, Marshalls, Burlington, Gabe's. I used to find Nikes there. You know, I mean, I was getting dunks from Burlington in 2017 and 18 for $34.99.
Oh
So
yeah, for sure. You walk in there like, yo, Jordan 11s on there. I'm like, 11s? Like, you know, the ones that had the elephant print. I was like, okay, hold on. Jordan, the 11s are sitting in here? And
yeah,
then walk in there, it's like, nope, that's not happening.
yeah. Ever since the pandemic, that's probably been the biggest. I'm not gonna say since the pandemic. Really, over the last year or so, they've really slowed down on Nike and Converse being in closeout stores to where even DSW, you know, a lot of that, you know, they've kind of moved the shoes out of a lot of these places. So it's going to be interesting to see. But um, with this current shoe game, I mean, we all take L's. What's the hardest L you feel like you've taken since the pandemic started? I have several, but what about you?
Hardest L.
Because you get a lot. I'll be seeing you. I'm like, you got them?
Honestly, I would probably say the hardest L. Okay, I usually cop them resale because if I take an L and it's one that I really, really wanted, like it's coming home. It's gonna find its way here.
Okay.
But the Almanair threes was definitely my biggest L because I was in it. I was 1 minute to enter in my cart. I put in my card number and then sold out. I was like, stop playing. For real. Like I had them. They were in my hands. And then literally I was like, you know what? All right. I can handle this. I'm going to go and get them no matter what. I wanted them mainly because I'm in college and I'm actually graduating. And like the message of working hard and, you know, always knowing that you're never alone. You're always walking, you're always walking with someone, that just be you, no matter what. People are going to like you for you. That's it. If they don't like you, then that's it. And I appreciated the message that he put on the shoe that his mother would tell him. And I was like, you know what? That shoe is my graduation gift to myself. I'm going to get it. So that was definitely the hardest L because I battled myself on buying it, resale or not.
Okay. Now, did you get it a long time after it came out or not too long after it came out?
Oh, I took them like a month after it came out. I bought it resale.
All right. So it wasn't that. Because, see.
It wasn't where it's at now. That's for sure.
No, like, I feel like, and to me, and this is no hate, the one and the upcoming two, they're nice, but they're still not.
They're not the three.
That three is. So I feel like those other shoes have kind of driven the price up of the three because even in my size, in a women's, I was trying to get a women's 13. They were like around $350, which, wasn't too bad, but now they're like $700. So
yeah, I'm like, I look at mine every day like, oh, thank God I got you when I got you.
Yeah. So I had to make sure I'm like, hope she didn't pay because I was talking to my wife. I'm like, instead of getting these twos, I'm gonna just see if I can get the threes for, not too much. And they were a lot more than I thought that they would be. So I'm like, guess I won't have those,
But that happened to me with the off-white twos.
Okay.
They dropped, and I was like, you know what? I'll get them on resale. I already know off-white's never gonna sit. I'm never gonna have a chance. So the day that I made it official in my head, I'm gonna go buy it. I woke up to seeing the RIP messages, and I was like, "Wait, what? Stop playing!" So right away, I went to see the price, and I was like, "Oh, I can't pay no $1,000. Nope, not gonna." And I refused to finance a pair of sneakers. I just can't do it. So I was like, "Nope." But they're on my hit it list. I mean, I got one, the one up here. I got that one. So I got the blue and black. But okay. The white and red definitely got to come home. Twos is my babies. I love the silhouette. So
yeah. I have a lot of love for the two as well. I mean, the Union is the one that I wanted the most. The gray and blue one, I really wanted those. But that release on Union was just
that was
so.
I still have a refund pending. Like, no, that was trash.
Yeah.
I didn't care, but it was a headache.
Yeah, but I love the two. I mean, probably the best twos in my collection. I do have the blue Just Dons, but I feel like with these On My Mind years, I'm really on the fence about them. I've told a few people and my wife, I'm like, I'm probably not going to get them, and I'm still probably
going to get them.
Huh?
You're going to get them.
And I mean, I feel like I'm only buying them because of their On My Mind year too. They don't strike me like the Chicago two. And again, this is probably just me being old. You know what I mean? That's the only two I have to have. I need a pair because they've never retroed them right. This will be the first time.
I'm hoping. I need those in my collection for sure.
Because I have the other two, but I need this new one. I need it. So those and the Chicago one are probably the two shoes I'm anticipating the most because my Chicago ones are old and oxidized. I mean, they're from 1994. So I need a new pair. I was hoping this pair was going to be a regular pair, not a pre-worn looking pair like they're going to do, but I'm still going to try for them.
Yeah, I like that age look, though. I don't know. Maybe because I'm getting older. Before, yellowing was like, ew, no.
That face.
That was like, oh, okay, yellowing. I like this. Okay, yeah. Age you up a little bit more, yeah.
Hey, look, you can't tell me this is your first live. Like, this is amazing. You're real comfortable. You do it well, man. You know what I'm saying? This is good.
This is me being me, so. This is just me.
Yeah, nah, that's good. That's good. Oh man. Now, where when you pay resale, because nobody likes paying resale. When you pay, like, where do you go? Do you go on eBay? Do you go on Goat, StockX, Stadium Goods? Where works for you?
Um, I definitely shop around a lot because, especially, you never know what you're getting. So I definitely shop around a lot in regards to like the fees that are on top of it. You got to see. I don't care if it's a few dollars less of a fee. I got to shop around. But generally, if it's not StockX, it might be Goat, maybe Flight Club, maybe. But a majority of it is StockX, and that's like, even that's kind of scary. But usually, I have a friend that he definitely picks up a lot of stuff and he keeps it in the vault. And I'm like, come on, man, just let me get it.
I mean, it's
But with
just
him, at least it has receipts. So I'm like, okay, I know where it's coming from.
got you, got you. Now, this is it's a complicated question for most. It would even be complicated for me, but I'm going to ask you: do you know how many pairs you actually have?
Ooh, um, I'm probably in the twos, maybe almost three on the cusp.
Oh,
It's it's not pretty.
a lot. That is a lot.
Finding where they have to go and organizing a lot of things to make them fit, it hurts. But I love when that UPS or FedEx pulls up. It's something else.
Yeah, I've had to get real creative with me and my wife. We've had to get real creative with how we put our shoes up. You know, um, but yeah, it's something. I don't know my exact number. I know that I know certain collections within the collection where I know I have this many of this or this many of that. So yeah, yeah. But
It's hard. Like even after selling some, like I saw a couple and I'm like, oh, I still don't have space for what I need. Like it's crazy, but I can't stop, won't stop. So
I feel it. I feel it. And it's definitely a life we all choose. You know what I mean? It's sneakers. It's a hobby. It's a lifestyle. It's a lot of things. So, but I couldn't imagine my life without sneakers because sneakers have brought me so much. So, you know, jobs, friendships. I mean, if I weren't in the sneakers, I'm not sure if I'd be working for Converse or any of the other jobs I've had with shoes and, a lot of people that I've met, being able to do this. So
definitely. I mean, I blame honestly my brother and my mom for my sneaker addiction because like they definitely participated in this addiction that I have. Like I played basketball, I come out, we get the warm up going, and then by the time that I made it to my seat to get ready to get my gear off, I had a pair of sneakers under my chair waiting, brand new. Oh, then let's go! Like yes.
no, um, with you being a hooper, is there anybody's shoe that interests you now who's playing now?
Honestly, I do like LaMelo's Pumas. Like I
Do you
do like I mean I don't have no Pumas. I mean I probably have one pair, but his sneakers are actually pretty comfortable. And that is a big thing, especially with you know, I'm getting old. So, you gotta worry about things, your back, your ankles, all kind of stuff. So I think, comfort is key, honestly. And I'm always willing to try something new, especially when it looks comfortable. Let's go.
Yeah, my friend QC Kiki Cutie in the comments there said I better stop sleeping. My wife has 4 pairs of them. She's got probably 6 pairs. I just can't get with them. I don't know what it is. I'm like,
They're comfortable though. I walked into Foot Locker the other day and I tried them on. I was like, oh, okay, I see what's up. And for you to feel comfortable in a basketball sneaker, like actually, and go play, like my nephew, he plays in retro ones, and I don't know how he does it. I don't know, and he's a hooper, like he hoop, and I don't know how he plays in ones. I just can't.
Wow. Okay. That's surprising.
I've been seeing him on the court like, yo, stop. Why are you doing this to your feet? Like, I'm gonna pray for them.
He might as well be playing in some chucks if he gonna play in some ones.
You know what I'm saying? Like, no, don't do that.
Because even with Air Force Ones, they still have like ankle supports that if you wear the highs. But yeah, even still, nah. Props to him. I wouldn't be able to do that.
Rocking his Jordan ones, and he lives on it. I'm like, I cannot hoop in Jordan ones. I just can't.
Nah, me neither. Oh man. All right, so it's post-pandemic. With the sneakers, we've talked about how, the bad and everything, but is there anything about this era of sneakers that you do enjoy?
Honestly, no. Like, I don't know. I don't know if it's the fact that it's so hard to get stuff that just makes it like distasteful. And I guess that's really what kind of just takes the joy out of it. And like, it's just almost so impossible. And then when you do finally get it, it's like you paid so much for it, and some of the shoes you paid so much for don't supersede any of your older ones in your collection. So it's like, do I really want to? There's days where I'm like, I don't want to keep doing this. And all the L's you take on sneakers app, like, they're just ridiculous. Like, literally, it's so funny because whenever I see like exclusive access and they're gonna give it to women and because it's a women release, I haven't got access since the Super Bowl 12s, the lows. I have not had access since then. And I'm like, yo, what the world is this?
That's a little while.
I'm gonna have to talk to somebody.
Yeah. See, the thing I guess where I struggle with the way it is now is the information, because there's so much information. We know what's coming out holiday already. I mean, there's still some stuff they slip in, like, these are coming out at this time too that we may have forgotten about, but the information is good because, before you had to look at magazines and be on, certain message boards, Nike Talk, InStyleShoes.com. But the information is also bad because it just formulates in your mind, like, so how am I going to get these?
Yeah.
You know,
You have to move things around and make sure you get that pair. Like, it's a lot. It's a lot.
Yeah. Because, like, right now, I'm already anticipating trying to get the white and navy Jordan 6. And it's not even like that's a spectacular shoe, even though the 6 is probably the Jordan I pay the most attention to because it's the shoe that kind of started it all for me.
Yeah.
But that specific colorway, I did a lot of stuff, like in my college age years in that shoe. And my original pair cracked in 2014, so I need a new pair. Definitely. So I can get them because the UNC 6, I still don't have them, and I'm still hurt by that.
I feel your pain. I feel your pain. I feel it.
Yeah. Well, we'll just jump into the fourth quarter, which is Sneaker Future. Now, I have to start the future by touching back on the past. One more question. Do you have any holy grails that you haven't been able to touch besides the 11?
Honestly, no. I think no, actually, there's a pair of Bo Jacksons that I want. Like, and I have not had a pair before, but I've always looked at them and wanted them, and I have not had a pair. So definitely this on my list.
Well, I will say it's the way it feels, and to me, even the way it looks, is very similar to the Jordan 5. So if you have any 5s, they'll probably fit very similar to those.
Okay.
Almost like you designed them on the same day or something, since they're from the same. So, yeah, they're very similar. But, okay. What color are these Bo Jacksons?
I actually want the ones that are all over the place right now for the little kids. They're the ones that are all white with the orange and the blue.
Yeah, y'all great.
Gray ones originally, but
yeah,
I like a little orange in my life, a little color, a little pop.
All right. Now, with you being a GS size, you can wear men's colorways, women's colorways, kids only colorways, samples. Do you feel like that's an advantage, or is that a detriment because it's more pressure since you can buy all of these shoes?
It's definitely an advantage. I feel only because like certain shoes, especially as they keep changing the moldings and the way it's cut and the material used, like a 7.5 is I'm on the cusp of it, but then it's like I'm like, okay, well, you're not gonna get a 7.5, even though it's only a men's release. It's okay. And then all of a sudden, only 8 and up, and I'm like, come on, man, like, come on, man. I just settled with I can get fit a 7.5, and you do this to me.
Yeah, yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. Now, as we go on to the future, is your significant other into sneakers as well?
I mean, I don't think nobody I've ever really met is like big on sneakers.
Okay.
Like, I mean, you get them into it little by little, but you know, I think I'm always the dominant one when it comes to sneakers on anything.
All right. Okay. Now, are your kids, I mean, I know they're smaller, but do they have any interest?
Honestly, no. Like my my daughter, she wants to be like me, but she does not like none of the sneakers I like. And like I try, I'm like, oh, what do you think about this one? No. I'm like, okay, it works. Like unless we're matching, and that's the only way she wants to wear it. If we're matching, other than that, she don't care. And I mean, I have I'm seeing collection for my little ones, and I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna do.
No, that's fair enough. Oh, man. Now, as we go into the future, what direction would you like to see your collection go?
Honestly, I think I want maybe more limited sneakers. Like it's not. I don't want those everybody got them colorways. You know, like I want them more like the collaborations I truly love because I feel like they have more behind them. And I like sneakers that tell a story. You know, like I mean, don't get me wrong, I still love my OGs all day, but definitely having a sneaker that tells a story or like the collaboration box. I am a box lover, so like everybody tells me they're like, oh, you're not buying the box. I don't care. I like boxes. Period. Like I love the detail, like all the thought that goes into every part of the sneaker making, like the paper. I love it. So I want it all. So definitely more collaborations for sure.
Okay. All right. Now, for the last few minutes after this next question, I'm going straight into basketball mode. So be ready for me.
Let's go.
But
Let's go.
what is on your radar next?
The beef and broccoli Air Maxes for sure. They're dropping, I think, this weekend. Those are on my radar.
True.
The Neapolitan threes for sure. And I think I am gonna get the Almond Air threes only because the twos. I need the trifecta. I need it. I gotta have it.
So you're gonna have all three after this. Okay.
Oh yeah, for sure. And honestly, some shoes I'm already like, look, it's an L. I'm paying resale. I'm okay with it. I've already come to terms with myself.
All right. All right. So it's basketball time.
Let's go. Double team. Let's do it.
Top 5 basketball players right now.
Ooh, top right now, like current era?
Just right off the top of your head.
Okay, Kobe, Jason Kidd stuck out in the list, sorry. Steve Nash, Dirk Nowitzki, definitely Steph Curry. Gotta give it to him.
So that's your top 5.
My top 5, yeah, definitely.
Okay. So no Michael Jordan, no Magic, no.
Honestly, I think everybody's gonna say Jordan. You know, like I mean, who doesn't love Jordan? You know what I mean? Like that's the man. But it's just to me, it's more like I don't know. He's overly loved, you know. So people got to get a little more other respect. Got to put some other names on the list, you know.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting Nash and Dirk to make the list either. You know what I'm saying? Props to you for that. You know.
No, Dirk got his work ethic is amazing, you know, and to see all the work that he put in over the years to become the player that he was and in his position, and he never left his team, that's my guy.
Yeah. Well, the Laker and me appreciates you saying Kobe first. So
you got to show Kobe love. Kobe, that's a beast.
Oh, yeah. Now, one player I'm surprised I haven't heard you mention in this show at all that I thought that you would rock with is Iverson.
You know what? For a long time, I got pictures too. Like, I had the Iverson braids, I had the do-rag, said AI, I had the wristband. I had it all. I had all the Iverson gear. So, I mean, he definitely was on the list. I mean, a lot of people didn't appreciate his attitude at the time, when he was playing, but he did humble himself, but he definitely is one of my dudes, for being a little guy.
Okay. Now, this is a sneaker show, so next I'm going here. Top 5 basketball sneaker lines of all time. No Jordan. Jordan isn't in it. It's too easy.
Top 5 sneaker lines. Ooh. See, I've always played Jordans. I mean...
Well, Jordans can be in it. That's fine.
I mean, definitely, obviously, Nike, because I think most of my sneakers are Nike basketball sneakers anyways.
Like player lines, though.
Oh, definitely the AIs. You got to put Iverson in there.
Okay.
Who didn't have his zip-up low tops that had his face in it? Who didn't have those?
Yeah.
So definitely those. Oh man, player lines. I mean, KD. I definitely like my Kevin Durant's, but the old ones, like the old ones, not the new ones.
Hey, the new one's good too.
The new was alright. They alright. Definitely Kobe's. Obviously, his preludes were insane. What else? Let me see. I'm trying to think. My brain is not. Didn't expect this one.
Well, you want I can
pennies, definitely foam posits. I did ball in foam posits, those bricks, but I love them. Love foam posits. Okay.
All right. Well, you named a couple. Now, do you like playing more inside or outside, or does it matter?
I prefer inside only because I like the way the court feels. But I mean, majority of the time it's outside because the court inside are just you can't get to them.
Got you.
You'll be saying you got next for a while.
Got you. All right. So my last question would be, because you're a hooper, what shoe were you wearing during your best game?
Oh, that was easy. I definitely was wearing the 17s all day with the snakeskin, the low tops.
Oh, the black ones?
Yeah.
It's crazy. Whenever any of those higher number Jordans, 15, 16, and 17, I literally have every color of those except for the black and chrome low. All 3 of those. That's like the only one I'm missing for those 3. So
honestly, the one pair that I wanted to hoop in that I never got a chance to, and I had asked my brother, I was like, I really want these. It was the Jordan 20s, the ones with the strap around the ankle.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why I was infatuated with those. Like, I really wanted them. I was like, they gotta make me like a better hooper or something. I really wanted them.
That to me, that was what started that podular system they had that they also used in the 21 and the 22 as well. A lot of those shoes don't get the credit they deserve as basketball performers because nobody likes them for casual. I actually like wearing performance sneakers casually, It's just always something I've been into where it's like, yeah, the retros might be out, but I still got to get the new Jordan too. But after 23, it kind of tapered off a little bit there.
Oh yeah. I agree.
So, okay. Well, before we close off, do you have any questions for me?
No, I appreciate the opportunity. Thank you for having me, and thank you for, DMing me. I appreciate it. I was like, oh, it's surreal. Somebody see me.
Yeah, we see you out there. Trust me. I appreciate, you being patient. We were supposed to do this a little while back, but, things, kind of getting away. But thank you, for being on here. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it. Everybody that's watching, it's popping.
Hey, thanks to all of y'all in the comments, people joining. Sorry, I kind of got into the conversation and I wasn't greeting everybody, but thank you everybody in the comments too.
We see y'all. We see y'all.
So before we close off, give everybody. I know you got 2 different pages, so give everybody your socials, where they can see you at, and all the kicks and stuff you got.
So definitely y'all can follow me, Locked and Lace and 787, and there's Locked and Lace 1. But definitely follow me. I appreciate it. Everybody's welcome. My page is not private, so come see me.
For sure, for sure. And look, I'll be looking for those OG black and red 11s for you. They may be a little high because
I know it, but I'm ready. Let's go.
Grade school resale is a thing now. It didn't used to be, but it is now. So
for sure, for sure.
But all right, I'll definitely be in touch, and I'll definitely be looking to see what kicks you pull out, because you got a lot of heat over there.
They coming.
And look, I'm gonna say this too. Anybody who wants to be on Shorty Sneaker Conversations, just hit me a DM. We could definitely work it out. I do have a few shows booked already, but hey, I'm always down to talk sneakers, as well as meet new people. So thank you again, Lock Delay 787. I'm Shorty C94. We are signing off, but we will see y'all soon. Peace.